This is Countdown to Economic Collapse, March 6, 2011. I'm David John Sponheim for America's Third Party, and we are desperate to find out why Barack Obama has sided with the Middle East protesters in a time when we need to actually back the leaders in that region. We're concerned that he has actually created this oil crisis simply by doing the wrong thing, not backing Mubarak in a time of need, pushing the envelope with the military in Egypt, spilling off into, of course, Tunisia, Bahrain, and now Libya. And he doesn't seem to know what to do with Gaddafi. He's actually asked the Pentagon. Well, I would actually urge Gaddafi to not use any brutal force from jets by simply telling him, we're going to intercept your jets with our jets. And that would send a definite stop point in Gaddafi's plan to suppress any rebellion in that region. But remember, as the turmoil in the Libyan nation continues to get worse, Gaddafi is facing 1 million barrels of oil per day depletion in his production, which is affecting his ability to command his nation. Our nation is essentially doing very little to mitigate the problem. Barack Obama has offered to tap into our strategic oil reserves. At a time when we really need to start building up our strategic oil reserves for a potential oil shortage, he wants to tap into them to ease the price. Well, there are other ways to ease the price of oil. Transparency in the oil futures market would guarantee a drop in price to the production value of a barrel of oil, about $45. This has been stated by experts in the field to subcommittee hearings in Washington. We have to deal with this issue intelligently, folks. Developing domestic oil supplies is the key, and we have to move really quickly. We have to start developing crude oil in North Dakota, shale oil in the Green River Valley, Wyoming, Colorado, and we have to start doing onshore drilling operations in the Gulf of Mexico to offset the amount of oil we require from foreign nations. 77% of our oil comes from other countries, and this is the kind of reliance on oil we never wanted in this country. But unfortunately, because of lack of leadership, the many previous administrations in Washington and the current Obama administration has not realized the need for independence when it comes to oil. So if you're seeing prices go up in the gas pumps, you're seeing them as a result of Barack Obama's ineptitude and his lack of confidence in helping other world leaders like the president of Yemen, who's losing support from Obama and is trying to hold on to his small control over his own nation. So we have to start looking at this as a change of leadership. And for the past many decades, we've had the two-party system. It has not gotten us anywhere. They're deadlocked in Congress over many issues. And they're bickering over $100 billion in waste when we need to trim the budget by as much as $1 trillion in waste in 2013. I have a solemn promise to the American people. We are going to find a sustainable average in this economy that will make all of us happy. Yes, federal employees and state employees are going to be taking wage cuts. Hopefully they'll keep their jobs. But everyone is going to have to take a crunch in this tough economy. And as we start slowing down our spending, consumer spending is down, we're seeing a general increase in personal savings, which is good, which helps us from getting robbed by creditors and bankers. And speaking of banks, they have taken more than their lion's share of our tax money. They have to be accountable. No one has been prosecuted since October of 2008 for the crimes committed in the incredible mortgage debacle. We need to see some accountability, and the SEC needs to fess up to that. We've got $77 trillion in our derivatives market, which is potentially going to cost us. Remember the margin loans of the 1920s? 10 to 1 people were getting money, and then they were called in on the margin loans. That same thing could happen with that $77 trillion in the derivatives market. That's a serious problem. The housing crisis, of course, continues to go on. So all of this, combined with the war in the Middle East, which we have to start slowing our activity down in, we have to start looking at this as a strategic move to become a more nationalistic nation, to gain control over our resources, and to move forward with a service economy and a retail economy that rivals no other in the world. We have a tremendous amount of buying power, and we need to start using that to our asset and benefit with other international trading partners. I'm David John Sponheim for America's Third Party, and I support this message.
Check us out at americasthirdparty.com.